There's going to come to a point in your round of golf where you've got that second shot going into the par 5. Trying to hit an iron isn't going to be anywhere near enough club to get yourself onto the green, whereas a hybrid or fairway wood may be required to hit this shot and get the distance to get this ball onto the green. And there's something no one really tells you about this that's so important to get right to ensure that you're giving yourself the best possible chance to get that centered strike, see that nice high ball flight, especially when it comes to hitting these shots from a tight lie. And that's what we're going to be looking at in today's video. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Harry, PJ Golf Professional down here at the Golf Projects, transforming golfers worldwide via Skillist. If you'd like to get involved, make sure you make your comment down below with a tips or drills video you would like me to cover next. And we're going to be dedicating this video for John, who's asked for a video specifically on the fairway woods, how to maintain level shoulders, good height, straight path, see longer, straighter golf shots. And presuming all this is to ensure of that higher, straighter ball flight, getting that really nice center strike, seeing the balls land on the green, giving yourself the best possible chance to get those lower scores. That's what we're going to be diving into in this video. We're going to be looking at all the necessary tweaks that you need to make between the hybrids and fairway woods to ensure you're giving yourself that best possible chance of getting the ball on the green. So I'm going to start off with looking at the driver just to give you a good comparison between how it looks with the driver and how we should set up with the driver compared to the fairway woods, and then we're going to dive into the hybrids to finish off. So taking a look at the driver then, as we set up to the golf ball, the majority of us out there golfers are all aware that we need to be hitting on the upward motion to maximize distance with the driver. So I've got two alignment sticks set out here just to show you how we should be setting up to the driver. So I'm just going to place that one a little bit closer, actually, just about there. Perfect. Okay, so this first line here is representing the ball position. So with the ball position with the driver, we want to be ensuring that it is directly in line with the lead heel. So for right-handed golfers, the front heel is going to be the left foot, and the opposite for left-handed golfers being the right foot. So we wouldn't set up to the driver like this here, where the sternum's directly in line with the stick on the ground where the center point is. We would want to be tilting our sternum ever so slightly, just over like so. So this is going to feel like your left shoulder's going a little bit higher, the right shoulder's going a little bit lower for those right-handed golfers. And you can see now from this alignment stick, the second alignment stick, we are tilting just further away from that alignment stick there. So that second alignment stick is placed ever so slightly in the front of the stance, and then we've got the ball position in the very much front of the stance here. And this again is just going to help me when I bring the club down around this point here where that alignment stick is placed. So the idea is from here we're lifting upwards, we're extending upwards and through to hit up on the golf ball. And again, that's to maximize the distance with the drive. But if we were to do that with a 3-wood, fairway wood or hybrid, the outcome's going to be totally different. We're probably going to end up topping the golf shots because we don't want to be necessarily hitting up on the golf ball with fairway woods and hybrids. So let's dive into now taking a look at how we should set up with the fairway woods. First off, looking at the ball position with the fairway woods, we don't want to be anywhere near as far in the front of the stance. So I'm just going to place this alignment stick down right next to the golf ball like so, just like I did with the driver, just to give you a really good example. We only need to use one alignment stick for this, just for me to explain it. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to shuffle my feet ever so slightly more forward to create some room, at least 1 to 1.5 club heads closer to the middle of the stance. A good way of checking it is obviously just taking the club here, and that's around a club head and a half. That again is going to help us get that slightly more downward motion into the golf ball because we're going to be striking this off the deck. And with our sternum, we don't want to see it tilting back like this here. We want to be almost not ahead of this alignment stick here on the ground. We want to be on top of the alignment stick. If we go too far forward, we're going to be probably coming too far down, too steep onto the golf ball. We just want to be nice and planted, very central, ensuring that that sternum is very much over that alignment stick on the ground. So these two things are going to change where the low point is presented around the impact zone. So with the driver, obviously the lowest point on the arc is going to be before, so we can get that upward motion. With the wood, because it's off the ground, we want to be ensuring that it's very much flat. So the lowest point is going to be pretty much when we make contact with that golf ball. So doing these two things is going to help that. We've got the ball position, club head and a half further in, and we've got our sternum over the golf ball. So now looking at the swing itself, there's a couple of things that I see that come into place very common with these two clubs. And if we were to set up here now and make a swing on the way back, the tendency I see is the width between the golfer's hands and their chests be very narrow. So if we maintain this on the way through, the lowest point isn't going to be directly next to the golf ball. It's going to be almost above the golf ball. So I really want to be encouraging in the swing now to feel like my hands and club head itself are staying nice and stable. And you can see here, I'm very almost static with the upper body. I'm just getting my arms and shoulders just to take the club head back rather than encouraging a lot of wrist hinge, width of arc to be very narrow. We want to be creating loads of space, create this nice wide arc all the way up to the top of my swing, but we also want to maintain this as we come down to hit the golf ball, because you can see there, as I keep my arms nice and extended throughout the downswing and through impact, I'm going to get that low point directly at the golf ball. So that's going to help us ensure that center strike. So I want you to take a couple of practice swings doing this, just swinging all the way back nice and smooth, really encouraging those arms and the club head itself to stay nice and wide throughout the swing. And you can see here now, I'm starting to switch on my lower body a little bit more. If we can just get a little bit more weight now onto this lead side, so think of it as 60%. And as I swing to the top now, I want to be just encouraging the lower body just to allow the club to come down, because if we bring the club down like so and keep those arms extended, it's not going to work. Another good drill you can do is take a slightly narrower stance, bump that weight a little bit more forward, open up those hips a touch and swing through and extend. It's almost like you're making a follow through for a chip shot. And before you start getting into full swings and hitting some shots doing this, you want to be practicing this with a nice little chipping like swing. I'm just taking the club head back just over parallel to the ground, and then I'm going to finish off just over parallel to the ground. Just really encouraging that extension to take place in my arms, really pushing forward and down towards the golf ball here, not down in this motion with the body, but down with the arms to keep that extension, and we should get that nice strike. Once you've got used to that feel of swinging on that arc, we can now start to bring this into a much bigger swing. We can start to ramp up the speed, ramp up that swing, but we want to be ensuring the same thing, because the tendency is as we swing to the top, we get this nice wide arc, we go quick and then get stuck in this position here, and then that width of arc reduces. So go as quick as you can without losing this width on the downswing. We want to be making sure that that width is maintained throughout that swing, just nice and easy. Go a little bit quicker, making a full swing doing this, up and down and through. Now moving on to the hybrids. So when it comes to setting up with the hybrids, we do something ever so slightly different, and that is the ball position. So I've got the alignment stick here just to show you what this looks like from that camera angle over there again. Now we're just going to shuffle a little bit more just to make sure that we've got a club and a half to 2 club heads from the front heel, because the hybrid is a much shorter club, and the sternum, we still want to see that more over the alignment stick here as opposed to tilting backwards or tilting too far forwards as well. You can add a little bit more pressure, just like we did with the 3-woods for the practice swings, onto this front side here, 60% to 40%. Nothing else changes in the swing. We want to still be encouraging this really nice wide arc to take place in the backswing and all the way through to finish. Have a couple of practice shots doing this just from this setup, keeping that sternum more in line with that alignment stick and the golf ball. We're just really encouraging that wide arc to take place, really get the feeling of allowing that club head to follow the line all the way up and down on that circle, that arc. Let's fast forward a little bit. You've given this a try on the driving range or maybe even the golf course, but you're noticing too many thin shots still, or now you're starting to notice those fat shots. Let's now take a look and see how we can tweak this simple drill to help you maximize the chance of hitting that center strike every single time. Kicking things off with those of you who have been suffering with hitting too much ground first before the golf ball. A lot of you out there may be thinking, well, I'm getting too much extension now. Let me assure you that this is probably not the case. If we keep that extension throughout our swing, we still want to be encouraging this lower body to take place and shift out the way, almost allowing our arms and hands to come through and extend up and through to the target. And you're probably not doing this, so watch this here. I'm just going to make a swing with this hybrid, and if I keep this width in the backswing and then I come down with no body rotation whatsoever, especially from that lead hip, the front hip of mine, you're more likely to hit the ground way before the golf ball. When you get to the top of your swing, really try and encourage that lead hip, the front hip of yours, just to rotate away from the golf ball. We don't want it to rotate shifting forward like this, otherwise we get stuck and cause a load of other problems. We want to be seeing that left hip turning away from the golf ball. So a good little drill I like to use just for this, take the club and grip it down like so in your trail hand and take your lead hand onto your lead pocket. As soon as you make this wide takeaway up to the top, just really encourage that left pocket to be fired away from the golf ball here. And that's the sensation that you want to get to allow you to get that extension for the thin strike, not really making much contact with the ground whatsoever. You're seeing those golf balls go too low with a lot of spin, very inconsistent with the direction because of this as well. You are probably getting the turn really nicely through, but you're probably not doing the extension enough. So if we get to the top of our swing and we get this rotation to take place on the downswing, that's great, but if we're seeing those arms come too close to the body, we're then going to miss hit the golf ball and very likely to be that thinned golf shot. So all I want you to do is just really force a sensation of really pushing your hands as far away from you as possible. Really maintain this width on the backswing and really try and maintain this width on the downswing, even if it means you having to slow down the swing. However, if you're someone who's filmed a couple of shots or can just tell that you are getting this extension, you're probably doing something else to have those thin shots taking place. And this is what we call early extension. We'll get to the top of our swing here and then we'll start to tilt our spine angle more vertical in relation to the ground, and no matter how much I extend upwards, I can't physically reach to hit that golf ball out the center of the club face. So I would highly recommend checking out this video over here. This is the 3-step drill that's going to transform your downswing, allow you to create more room to be able to square up the face at impact more efficiently and eliminate that early extension that you have in your golf game. Thanks for watching, stay tuned, lots more to come, and we'll see you next time.